We ready? Well, senior nights are always a very emotional nights, and this one was no different. It's my only disappointment tonight is there's not 15,500 fans here which happen to be the best fans in America, which we're not here to celebrate. All those fans and all the Illini around the world that follow us have been a part of seeing the growth of Trent, DeMonte, Zach. They know the ups and downs of what we've been through building this program. And as a coach, man, that's why I do this. These are the proud moments that you have. And we're a long way from being over. But knowing that those guys won't be out here again is pretty emotional. They're the foundation of everything that we've built here. I talked to the team about Trent Frazier, and all he could do was for the last 2 days is want to guard Teddy Allen, one of the premier offensive players in this league. And when I think about Trent coming in as a freshman, I'm not sure he could guard a statue. And and now here he is, one of the elite defenders in the country, and that speaks volumes, I hope, to our freshmen and to what the culture of our program is. It's a great example for the two young guys who played great tonight, and Adam Miller and Andre Curbelo. You couldn't be happier for Zach. DeMonte, 4 steals, 7 rebounds, does what he always does, is find a way to fill a stat sheet and impact a game. And he's going to be one of the top 3 or 4 3-point shooters in the country. And to think about a guy who went so long and didn't make a 3, and to see his growth. And so I'm excited for all of those guys. And it took us a little while to kick the rust off tonight in terms of the subtle changes. We run a lot of offense, through IO, and having such a quick turn was challenging. All we did yesterday was really walk through. But we're going to have another quick turn I think we play in 30 hours in Madison. That's what the league has given us, so it's what we have to do. But trying to get our guys dialed in offensively and some kind of new roles. Adam Miller, incredible first half. I think everybody could see what he's going to be able to do when he has to step into that role. And then Curbelo almost a triple-double. So it was great. Jacob Grandison was terrific. And I thought all around it was a great team effort tonight.
Okay, we'll start off with Shannon Ryan, Jeremy Werner on deck, Andy Olson in the hole. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, Brad. Can you tell us what is IO's prognosis and what you expect? What do you know more?
I'll leave that all up to the doctors. I'm not, there's obviously more issues than that happened from the incident. And we'll leave all that to the doctors. We're not going to do anything to jeopardize that young man's career. He's the National Player of the Year. He didn't get to play his last game tonight in State Farm Center. That I'm really sad for. His jersey should hang in these rafters someday. And, so, we'll do everything we can to expedite that process, but we will never jeopardize his health and well-being. And there's some other issues that have to be dealt with that we'll continue to keep private.
Okay. Can you say, so it sounds like it's something beyond just pain or swelling, maybe?
You guys can assume that all you want. I'm not like Shannon, I'm not going to get into his injuries and they're, when they involve the head and the face and all that, it's sensitive.
Okay. And just last thing from me is, he's definitely an outspoken leader on your team. I think guys look to. Were there things he said before the game, just to maybe take some of the burden off players, or, having to step up in his role? Were there certain things that stood out to you that I said before, or some of the guys were talking about even the stuff he was saying during the game?
Well, he wasn't around it all day yesterday. I mean, he was receiving medical attention and saw multiple doctors yesterday. So he wasn't even around at practice at all, and was around sparingly today. But anytime Io's presence is in the locker room, it is going to be impactful, and everybody trusts what he says. And I think he was a little bit subdued on the bench. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons for that, but he's impactful when he says stuff. And I did get a laugh out of him on the bench when I got on an official, but that was about as much emotion as we got out of Io tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeremy, you're up. Andy Olson on deck. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, you kind of alluded to it, but we saw a little glimpse of the future with Andre and Adam with the ball in their hands a little bit more. What did you see out of them that not only for the short term, but the long term portends for you guys?
Really, 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 really good basketball. I mean, really good basketball. We knew what we had when we signed those two, and they're elite players. When Io was in a position to come back, what better two guys to have learning from him and Trent. We saw that firsthand what Ace is capable of tonight in the first half. A lot of those same things that we've done for and put Io in will become things that we do with him next year. And you get all those, and it's nice to see, because now he's continued to grow in those areas. And the one thing I love about Ace is he is patient. He is hardworking. I keep saying he's a great listener. He's becoming a very, very good defender. And then it's the same with Curbelo. And almost have a triple double tonight. And we see his impact on both ends of the court. He's an elite rebounder. So I couldn't be happier with those two and the job that they did tonight.
And it's obvious all year you've been frustrated with how Kofi is called, but how has he responded, especially the last couple of games where he's obviously taken a lot of shots here?
Yeah, all I can do is try to keep him calm. I think his technical tonight was probably a level of frustration that was a carryover from the last game. And Kofi doesn't do that. That's not Kofi. That's when I know that there's tremendous, frustration on his part. He's the most abused player in college basketball. It's not even close. And we go through this thing every day, and we look at stuff, and because he doesn't flop, because he doesn't wail away with his arms and fall down. My goodness, Miles Dredd dislocated his shoulder taking a swing at him, and Kobe never flinched. And there becomes a level of frustration, and so I'm going to fight for him. I'm going to continue to do that, and he can't be refereed differently because he's 300 pounds, and bench presses 450, and squats the building. He's a terrific player. He's a better young man, and we saw a little bit of his frustration tonight mount up, and that's not Kofi. That's not Kofi's personality. He's a kind-hearted, gentle kid.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, Andy Olson, you're up. David Wagner on deck. Go ahead, Andy.
Brad, to piggyback off that, after that tech, it seemed like Kofi seemed to turn it on a bit. What did you see from your perspective that he changed, that he was able to go and attack the rim in the second half?
Well, we did a better job of getting him the ball. First of all, we missed him a few times early, and again, that's Kofi's MO. Kofi's there. There's not a lot of finesse in Kofi. Kofi does everything with a tenacity. He's aggressive. You could ask the guys that he has to practice against every day, with cracked ribs, with broken teeth, with everything else. And that's just Kofi. And they're not fouls. But we did a better job of getting them the ball in the second half, and we'll continue to do that. And I was obviously doing backflips to see him go make his last 8 free throws.
All right, thanks.
Okay, Joey Wagner, you're up. Gavin Good on deck.
Hey, Brad, to follow up about Io, you said he was away from the team yesterday. Can you give a timeline on when you kind of knew that you guys were going to be without him?
Well, I think we were fairly confident of that after the game. I didn't. We didn't know anything definitive until our return from East Lansing the next day, and when you get home in the middle of the morning, you're not gonna you're not gonna have the ability to see people. So as the day progressed and the appointments, and the scans and the MRIs and everything else happened, we were became a little more clued in as to what was actually going on.
And have you been in contact or heard from the league about anything more with the play that I assume it was that he got hurt on?
Well, it was that play. I have no idea. I can't concern myself with the league. I'll be very honest. I'm going to leave that to Josh. A precedent was set last year, in my opinion, with flagrant twos. I think they all get reviewed. They all go to, I don't know, some committee or somebody. I don't even know the process, because last year when Allen got suspended for his flagrant two, I didn't receive a call from anybody. It was 3 or 4 days before that happened. Obviously, with the league schedule that's going on right now, Michigan State, I think, is playing. So I don't know if anything had even been ruled on today, but flagrant twos do go to a committee. So that'll be the league office, and I'm not going to comment any more about it because I've got no say in it.
Okay, Gavin Good, you're up, and Robert Rosenthal on deck. Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, Brad, you got a pretty good performance from Jacob Grandison tonight. It seems like he's starting to make a living off putbacks. How big of a factor is he on the boards for you guys, especially without Io, who usually goes for rebounds pretty well? Man,
he's elite. He is elite. You guys are seeing what we saw last year all the time in practice, and that stuff that wins NCAA tournament games is some nights when that ball doesn't go in and you crash the glass and you get offensive rebounds, and he is so fast, and his tenacity is great, and I loved it. I'm excited as heck to see that continue, and he was terrific tonight.
Okay, Robert, you're up. Derek Piper on deck.
Yeah, Coach, concerning Io, I'm just curious if you have heard from Michigan State after the news came out. Have you heard from Tom Izzo, anything from that end?
Yes.
And can you share anything of what they talked about?
No.
That's all I got.
Okay, Derek, you're up, and Scott Ritchie on deck.
Hey, Coach, Adam has experience of stepping up when Io is no longer there in uniform. I know this is just temporary, but was there anything that you noticed out of him that was different? Did you have to say anything to him, or what kind of led to his more aggressive mentality?
I think he knew. Good players know. And the one thing about Adam is, you don't have to say a lot. He's got great instincts. He's got great feel. I came out early. It's one of the great things about, what I say about the only great thing about not having fans is I come out before the game and I can watch our guys, and 90 minutes, 100 minutes before the game, Ace is in there, and I mean, he's got a full lather up and he's going, and the juices are flowing. You see his bounce and his energy. There was no need to have to say anything.
Obviously, you'd like to have Io out there. Is there any hope that the way this team might get stressed without him, that it makes the team as a whole better when he comes back?
That's our plan. We can't control, Derek, that we're playing 5 of 6 on the road to end the season. We can't control that we're going to play again in 30 hours. We have been absolutely 100%. If you want to find the definition of how to handle COVID, this team has done it. Knock on wood. We haven't had a positive test since August. We set 10 days during the regular season healthy. We set another segment 6 days healthy and didn't play games. because of games that were canceled and moved. And we're going to do exactly what the league asks us to do. There's a character issue in this, in my opinion. We're all part of a league. We're all part of something that is a 100-year pandemic, and we're going to take the high road, and yeah, we're a man down, and we're going to fight like hell. And I'm proud of the guys in the locker room because they've been nothing but incredible. And the fact that we got to go on the road and play 5 of 6 and turn around and play in 30 hours when the team we're playing's been off a week. So what? Bring it on.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Brandon Simberg on deck.
Brad, you mentioned kind of just in the early going of this game, the guys maybe trying to settle into some different roles. Was there a moment when you felt like maybe they hit that and you were able to just kind of play a little more freely?
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 or 5 back-to-back possessions where we just moved the ball. Our ball movement was incredible. We had 7, 8, 9 passes. And I thought early on, and we tried to get the ball to Georgie a couple times and kind of fumbled it. And we were just out of sync. We were out of rhythm. Georgie doesn't ever drop those. But I thought we settled in there. You get some different lineups out there. I look out there, and one time I think I had Trent out, and I had Bello and Jake and DeMonte, and I've never told DeMonte to get back on defense. He's always to go rebound, and I'm having to tell him to get back. And it's just little things like that that were a little bit off. But boy, we settled down with some great offensive possessions, and then defensively, I thought we fought. We were terrific in the first half, I thought.
Then what did it mean to get Zach, his first career start, on senior night?
It's everything. That's everything. Zach would be playing minutes for us had he not had 2 straight years of stress fractures. People don't realize he is invaluable on the scout team. He's a straight A student, as dedicated in the weight room and as hardworking as anybody. And man, I wouldn't be doing my job as a coach to show him the respect that he deserves if I didn't put him in the starting lineup. And he actually just got cleared, so he's been in practice, but he hasn't been cleared for games. And so, man, it was an honor for me to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to skip Brandon and go to Brett Behrens and Matt Stevens on deck. Go ahead, Brett.
Brad, you've been a pretty good road team overall this year. You're not coming back home again till you're done this season. How confident do you feel in your team performing well on the road for what you've seen out of them so far this season away from State Farm Center?
That's what we try to be built for, is road wins. And is it ideal to end the season with 5 of 6 on the road? No. Guess what? It is what it is. And I know how we practice. I know the culture we preach. We keep talking about having to win on the road and win ugly sometimes. And you know what? We're gonna be tested. We're gonna be better for it. And it's no doubt it's 3 great opponents. Wisconsin's the next one, and we're just going to take them one at a time, and we're going to go fight like heck and play our hearts out.
Thanks.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up, and then Rob.
Brad, you've just been pressing with the team all year about having to play through things and play through shots not falling. You just scored 86 points on a night where you went 4 of 23 from 3. So is this kind of showcasing what kind of offensive efficiency you guys can have no matter what kind of game you're kind of having?
I hope so. And I liked our tempo. Nebraska's a team that likes to get up and down as well. And the thing I liked was the shots we missed were pretty good shots. And, so I felt great at half. I don't know, we're up 8 or 10 and we got great shots and then we just kind of continued that, in the second half. So absolutely. We found a way with Jake on the glass. We got out in transition a little bit and, Jake ran his tail off. DeMonte threw a great lob. That's always good to see, is getting easy baskets like that.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Rob, go ahead.
Brad, we've figured out by now that you're a tough guy with a soft heart. So I wonder how these last 24 hours between Tyler's last appearance and IO and just everything you've had to deal with. How are you holding up?
Well, I've got a great staff, you know, and I've had multiple conversations with Josh on a variety of different issues. You're dealing with doctors, you're dealing with trainers, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with family. You know, all those things make it a little more difficult. But when you've got a great staff who does their job, you know, I haven't slept very much, to be very honest. I didn't sleep at all after the Michigan State game, not a wink. And probably will not sleep tonight, knowing we've got a game in 30 hours to prepare for. The good thing is we've seen Wisconsin. So, you know, I'm doing fine. I appreciate it. We're going to get through it because I am a tough son of a bitch. And if anybody wants to doubt that, they can ask my wife. So we'll get through it and we'll be better for it. And we're going to come out fighting on Saturday.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the last question. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brad.
How about that one, Josh?